This is the Yahtzee temperature controller. This is a device that I designed to help with controlling temperature on lots of different home appliances. So things from hot plates to light bulbs to chest freezers to crock pots, you can plug in just about any appliance to this, and the idea is it can hold the temperature. So let me show you how to connect the Yahtzee up to a device. So the first thing we have here is a harness. This harness has 120 volt NEMA 515 connector, so a standard US plug. Now, if you're using devices from outside the US to plug in, like a refrigerator from Europe, you'll need a prong adapter to use this outlet, but you can still use the same plug just with the converter on the appliance side. The other connector is an IEC cable. This is an IEC connector. I'll show you that cord in a bit, but let's go ahead and connect the harness up to the Yahtzee. So there's two loose spade connectors, and these spade connectors can go to the left and to the right. It doesn't really matter. The orientation doesn't matter at all since it's AC. It can go either way. So go ahead and connect up the spade connectors. Okay, as you can see, I've gone ahead and connected the spade connectors. Again, the orientation does not matter. This on the left could be on the right or right left. There's no issue there. And the next step is to go ahead and plug in our IEC cable. So this is a 120 volt cable. This has got a female IEC here, and then we'll plug it into the male IEC here. And the idea is this is going to bring power from a wall outlet through the Yahtzee where a relay can stop or turn on and off, and then it'll go to the appliance. So this is our connection to mains power. So let's go ahead and connect that up. Okay, I've gone ahead and plugged in the IEC cable. Now I should note that outside the US, when you want to plug into a wall, again, you'll need a plug shaper here. And another option is you can go to any computer store and buy an IEC cable that'll have your correct plug type on it. So in Europe, Australia, Israel, etc., you'll probably just want to get a different IEC cable or use a prong shape adapter. But again, this can take 220 volt as well. So the relay is able to support outside the US voltages. So next step is we have a temperature probe. This is a food grade stainless temperature probe. When using the temperature probe, be sure not to submerge it too far. There's this little silicone area here. You want to not go past the silicone where moisture can get past this. So just try to keep the metal in any of your liquids. Anyway, on the Yahtzee, there is a small plug for the temperature probe to plug into. It looks like a mini microphone jack, which is exactly what it is. So it's like the old cell phone style. So you go ahead and plug this right in here, and now our temperature probe is plugged into the Yahtzee. Finally, we have a 5 volt DC power supply that runs the circuit. This is what powers the Yahtzee. And on the other end is a barrel jack. So if we look at the side of the Yahtzee, turn it, you see a barrel jack right here. Plug that right in. And this 5 volt DC adapter, it works great at 120 volt or 220, so outside the US you'll want to go ahead and get a prong shape adapter to plug it into your outlets. This is fully connected now except for our appliance and then to plugging it into the wall. So let's go ahead and hook up our appliance, and today I'll just use for an example a hot plate. And I like using hot plates to control the temperature of liquids. Usually if I'm making cheese, that's generally when I use it. It's also really good for doing sous-vide applications. So we have a 120 volt plug from our hot plate, and we can just plug that right in. And now our hot plate is connected to the Yahtzee. So now finally everything's connected up. Let's go ahead and apply power to the Yahtzee by putting it in. I have a little power strip here, and if we look at the Yahtzee, we just have our Yahtzee power supply. Let's go ahead and plug that in. And you can see we're getting a temperature of just the probe on the table. And we have our 120 volt, which is the switched power supply from the wall. Go ahead and plug that in. And over here we have our hot plate. So this hot plate has a light on it, and we can go ahead and just set it to low. Usually when I'm using the hot plate, I like to leave it to low. And we can go ahead and take our temperature probe and put that right into the hot plate. And now we'll start getting readings for the water temperature. So I'm going to show you how to set the temperature on the Yahtzee. Right now, if we look at it, it's at 180, 182. I was just pressing the up button. If we press the down button, the lower button, the temperature drops. And to save this setting, we press both buttons, top and bottom, at the same time, and we'll see flashing. Just let that flash a couple times. And now that temperature is saved into the chip itself. So if we unplug the power, if we lose power for any reason, it will remember that saved temperature. Now you don't need to always save it, but I usually do. It's just easier in case there's a power loss. Why not have that? Anyway, that's how you get set up with the Yahtzee.